It's your day.
At 7 after 8, how are you doing? Welcome to the third hour of the Situation Room. And this is the hour where we tell you, yes, you can win 3,000 shillings, courtesy of Safaricom, the all-in-one package. What is it?
It's an all-in-one package. I tell you more.
What does it mean?
It means that everything that you want to do with your communication, whether it is airtime, you need to talk to people, talk. You need to send messages, send.
Yes.
You need to get on the internet, click. And then you also want to send WhatsApp. We'll do all of those things for you. 1,000 minutes of talk time, 2,000 SMSs, 17 GB of data, and WhatsApp won't even charge you. Throw it all there for 2,000 shillings a month. Because Safaricom says, you know what? Why should we have a stop to your communication? Whether you want to be on the internet, whether you want to be talking to people via WhatsApp, whether you want to send text messages, you do your USSD, or whether you want to talk to your people, talk to them for 1,000 minutes a month. And we'll make sure that you have access to this communication through and through. It will not cut in the middle. You will not run out. You will be fine based on your needs. So 2,000 bob, we can get you all those things. There's also options for 500 shillings a month, 1,000 shillings a month, 5,000 shillings a month. Pick your bundle, basically, is what you're saying you should do, so that you never have to be in a position where you do not have communication.
Okay.
Safaricom says, all in one, do it. You told people they could win 3,000 shillings.
3,000 bobs.
Okay. When you subscribe, take a screenshot of what you've done. Send us a message on our social, SpiceFMKE. And Avin can give you 3,000 bob today.
Who's having?
Avin is like the Loch Ness Monster. We're not quite sure if he exists or not. But we've been told that if you do that, he can make sure. So, how about you just try and see?
Avin is AI.
Avin is AI.
Okay. We are doing very well with AI in the country, okay? Our president has just told, an interviewer in New York. We're using AI, for example, in our means testing, okay? To know which student deserves what kind of money for university funding. So this university funding actually is AI.
Excuse
We're
me?
also using AI. This is President William Ruto. I am not saying. He has said. If you didn't know, now listen. We are using AI to know which farmer to distribute what fertilizer to.
In Kenya. Was he talking about Kenya?
AI. We're using AI to do two things. Number one, we're using AI in our means testing instrument for university funding. And secondly, we're using AI for distribution of subsidized fertilizer to our farmers. So we have embraced technology in Kenya. And we are ahead.
We thank God.
Sawa.
Okay, so
Now you
There
know.
was a senator who wanted to propose a bill on AI.
Oh, so it's not yet happening.
It's not. I think for us who know what AI is, we should not. It's not the right time to do legislative intervention. We can still use policy.
Let it roll.
Yes, let's roll.
Let it roll.
Yeah.
That's what the president is saying. We are not waiting for legislation. We are using AI.
Yeah, but it's hard to legislate on it.
Yeah.
Because it keeps changing. It's dynamic.
Let it learn first.
If you say so.
Senator, good morning.
Morning.
This is Senator Samson Kiprotich Arab Cherarge, the senator for Nandi County. It's good to have you back here.
Thank you. It's been long.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I've been watching.
City says hi. He's taken 2 weeks just to go and
In
chill.
Awasi or where?
Wherever he is, nobody knows.
Oh.
Okay?
In our culture, there is a
Even
saying
if you went to his home, you will never find him.
in our culture, there is a saying that you don't ask a man where he is.
Bas.
And if Kenyan women were doing that, they would be safer.
That'd be peaceful.
They'd be peaceful.
They'd have, more peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind.
Here is a proverb. Okay? It's from Senegal. The proverbs for this week are from Senegal.
Yeah.
There are 3 kinds of people who die poor. 3 kinds of people die poor. Those who divorce, those who incur debt, and those who move around too much.
No much.
Those who divorce, those who incur debt, those who move around too much. What do you think the Senegalese are saying here in this proverb?
I think the literal meaning, of course, is obvious. When you divorce or in debt or you are nomadic, you're always at risk in both instances. Because they used to say in Fasi, maana inje na maana ya ndani. It looks like you don't need to take too much risk. You need to be cautious in in whatever you do. Like in debt, you don't overtake it. Like nomadic behavior, you need to be a stationary so that you can
Settle down.
settle down to make progress. Yeah, and I think that should happen to the political class in Kenya. If we can settle down, we can walk. I think that is how I can interpret.
What's happening in our politics, actually, before you even come into what you're doing in the Senate? Now, at national level.
We thought after this Gen Z revolution, we should. There was a yellow card by the people of Kenya to start working and settling down, but it looks like the politics have now gone to high octane over the last few weeks. I remember a few weeks you were hosting the majority leader of the National Assembly, and I was shocked to listen to some of the conversation you are having, considering that's a very senior position and a liaison position between the executive and the legislature. So it's not as for us who are members of parliament. I was a bit surprised because what he was saying something that at that position you don't just come and talk about it unless you are certain, because you hold a leadership position, that you'll bring the unity of the parliament together. But I was shocked because and yesterday people are talking. You had the deputy speaker, a number of politicians, some of the members of parliament who are wash in quotes, the quick ones. I don't know whether their deals have been broken or they are fast-tracking something. So at the end of the day, it is shocking because we were going back where we were a few months ago. And I think we needed to agree as a country that it is high time that we settle down and start working for Kenyans. There is a lot, even in parliament, in executive, in county governments. You know, we're having a conversation about reviewing the budget, even a very serious conversation like there's a proposal to amend the division of revenue bill from 41 billion to 380 billion to counties. Those are serious conversations. But when you hear mundane things about discussion of impeachment, I don't find it. I find those are political convenience statements and personal sensational that the country should not be. Because some of us who knows the impeachment proceedings have serious both legal or constitutional implications and the state of the country. So I think those, let's assume those are just politics. If they are politics, there's no problem.
We can't assume. Because like you're saying, there's a lot of other work that should be done, that should be happening, that should be rallying the country towards something.
Correct.
But now there's all this distraction on, the deputy president saying, this is happening to me, I'm being humiliated by juniors, and I'm speaking to you, Mr. President, directly, keep your promise. Then you are seeing those so-called juniors coming out and saying, 2 weeks. We can happy?
Really, but they will do nothing.
You don't think
I
so?
assure you, they will do nothing. Because as where I sit first, you have to know that personally, as a member of parliament, I'm not aware of any impeachment proceedings against the deputy president, number one. Number two, such matter is so grave and serious that if there was a matter, because if it is the position of the coalition, we should have had a parliamentary group meeting. Thirdly, the president is a man who can always express himself. He has never spoken on this matter. So some of us who have stayed a little bit longer in politics know that people are just game chasing. From me, from the Mount Kenya, when you had the majority leader, I interpreted that those are supremacy battles of Murima. Because in fact, I was shocked that he is quick to point out that the deputy president has not done 1, 2, 3. But he's not telling us what he has done himself, majority leader. I can tell you from where I sit. And because this is very important for Kenyans to know. As a farmer and as a member who represents the farming community in this republic, there are bills, the bills of farmers are in graveyard in the National Assembly. Courtesy of inability of the leader of business in the National Assembly. The coffee bill are stalled in the National Assembly. The sugar bill are stalled in the National Assembly. The mang bill are stalled in the National Assembly. The bill sponsored by yours truly on the fight against banditry and cattle rustling, the anti-livestock bill on produce that I myself drafted it and passed in the Senate, as told almost a year, to fight cattle banditry and rustling in the North Rift, as told in the National Assembly. The Tea Amendment Bill, as told in the National Assembly. So when you come and tell us you should, so and so, or the deputy president should have done something about farmers, there are legislative interventions that needs to be done. So you know they say in the Bible, you are basically looking at your brother's log in the eye and forgetting that you have your own. So for me, everybody should do their job. That is what I mean. So you know, you, as the majority leader, you should not be busy going and talking in the microphone, but not telling us this is what I have done, and it has not been implemented by executive, for example, or it has not been implemented by judiciary. Because if we start blame game, we'll never go anywhere. But for me, I thought those are Murima kind of supremacy politics. That is normal in any regional politics, and unless Gen Z will ensure that there is tribeless or regional, tribeless or not regional politics. But so long as the conversation is around region, they will always be push and pull. Even the region I come from, you hear in one corner some people want to be kingpin, another want to be kingpin. You go to another region, northern Kenya, you go to western. There is now the Prime Cabinet Secretary, there is the Speaker, there is not, the Governor of Trans Nzoia. So it is normal in Kenyan politics. I don't see. But personally, I have not seen that impeachment proceeding. And I can assure you, Eric and my sister, that if impeachment proceeding comes today against the Deputy President, the people who shout the loudest will never even sign, nor even vote. You will hear their way in India for medical, or they are on parliamentary duty outside the country. I can tell you, even the people who come from Mount Kenya, they will abstain. You know, in parliament, there are 3 votes. There is yes, no, abstain. I can tell you for a fact they will disappear.
So then why bind the Kenyan public to this show of what you call waste of time for all of this, as opposed to focusing on work that needs to be done? I think that continues to be my everlasting question.
Yes.
I mean, just an hour ago, just not less than an hour ago, we're having a conversation about things that members of parliament should be doing on a regular basis. That if members of parliament in a day, just even take 8 hours in a day, the work that is supposed to be done, you won't finish. The work that's actually supposed to be done in those 3 areas of legislation, representation, and oversight, the work that is pending for Parliament to do. There's so much. You don't have time to discuss some of these things. So why then are your colleagues essentially doing what you're calling a waste of time? Why?
But one thing I'm happy is that those things they are saying, they are not saying on the floor of the House during a plenary or during statement and motion. Number 2, also, you have to appreciate that under our Constitution, part of our parliamentary duty also is impeachment. The other day we did impeach the governor of Meru. And even impeachment of the president and deputy president is parliamentary work. But I agree with you, even processing a bill can take even a year. So we don't have luxury of time. You can see we were reviewing after the collapse of Finance Bill 2024, we were supposed to review the budgets downwards, both for state departments at the national and county. I've told you, in fact, personally, I'm opposed. And I've told, and I said on the floor of the House, and I'm happy you cover, that and KTN did that story. Although you need to be putting me on more often because I'm a regular here. You know, even you are regular in your local joint, there is some privileges, but I'm not conversing. So my point is very simple, Eric Andu, is that 1 billion was our minimum for counties. But now you want to cut 380 billion from 385 billion that was there. And we have said as a Senate, and it's agreement of most senators, since CDF has been declared unconstitutional, we want the money that goes to CDF to go into so devolution, that we don't cut that goes to counties. Number 2, this issue of, because I heard somebody saying, you know, CDF provide bursary. We as a country, we have said, let us stop giving bursary through the Ministry of Education, giving from Women Rep Affirmative, giving from CDF, giving from county. Why don't we put in one basket and every Kenyan child just walks to school and studies? Because it is more of political tokenism. When you now, you know, when I like your face and you didn't support me in my last election, I'll give your child bursary. Because the MP there, the MCA, before time, MCA will want a bursary, Senator will want a bursary, which they don't have. So I think as a country, let us ensure that we give division of revenue to national government and county government. And I agree with that. Our position, we should be asking ourselves, if the finance bill did collapse, there is the issue of debt management strategy. There is the issue of even inquiries, like the issue of Adani. Many other inquiries that should be done by Parliament, where it brings the concerns of the country. We are not even, the issue of NADCO reports, we are yet to finish. There is the issue of demands by Gen Z in the last, in the fight against corruption. And you saw we were fighting over with the ESCC when they appeared over Jom scam. You know now Eldoret has become a very dangerous place where there are allegations of conning and scamming people in that city. So when we were having that conversation with ESCC was saying, no, it is not our job. So there is a lot of blame game that I agree with you that as members of Parliament, there is a lot that needs to be done. But I'm happy that the comments that are being made are made in social parties, birthday parties, funeral, which is okay because
but
at
by
weekend
the
you
same
don't
people, but by the same people
but we
who
want
are
to
going
dare
to
them.
come into Parliament the next day,
Yes.
because you say this,
Yes.
they go wherever they're going on Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
On Monday, it's the same people. It doesn't change.
But they fear saying
it's the
it on
same
the floor of the
leopard with
House.
the same spots.
So you're saying it's not interfering with
So
their
you're
work?
saying that work that
No,
what
but
they're
you
doing
know now
outside,
on a weekend and you are politicians who are making banter in the public. Others are doing it for politics. Others are doing for personal interest because some people, you know, I'm a politician. I know when I see so and so speaking about something, I know what they want to achieve.
Sure, but what are you saying?
Others are cloud chasing. They want to appear in TikTok Live and many
I understand,
others.
Senator, but it's
Yes.
very difficult for me to separate these two personalities, even if the person is mad.
Agreed.
Multiple personality,
Yes.
if you want to say it, split personality,
I think it's
it
a
is still
condition.
it is still the same person.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm not going to equate the two. I'm saying, even if you have a split personality, it is still the same person. How do you separate the person who is doing this political gallivanting from Friday to Sunday from the person who comes into the walls of Parliament on Monday to Thursday and then goes back to their constituency, whatever? Can we split those two people and then we can justify it and say, actually, it doesn't matter. You can go to the pulpit of church, you can go speak to people on top of a vehicle on Saturday, but it actually doesn't bear any kind of impact on what you will then do between Monday and Thursday? Can we really say that?
No, politicians can have a double face.
Oh, that's a terrible thing.
I agreed because the last time in 2022, Raila Odinga and President William Ruto did not look eye to eye. Now they are in New York. They are traveling in the same plane. So politics, and my sister, politics is normally about the interests. There is no permanent enemies or friends. But the reason I say those people are gallivanting and perambulating, my colleagues, they could just be saying that for cameras and media. But if they bring that issue to the floor of the House, now we know it's a serious issue. But so long as, even if you look at the order paper of Senate today in the plenary session, we have so many bills. We have so many statements. We have so many reports that we are deeply. But it is only Kenyans, by the way, and you know, you guys are prolific media people. By the way, there is a lot that happens in the committee. Committees of Parliament. The reason you know about Adani, for example, is because there was drama and media were there. Senate and committees of Parliament do a lot of work in the committees. We do reports, we do investigations, we do inquiries. It is that Kenyans do not see it, either because the matter is not sensationalized or because the matter has not captured the attention of Kenyans. Even in the plenary, I told you when we were discussing Division of Revenue Amendment Bill 2024, we discussed it from around 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. So maybe some of the people does not cover that point in time. But I agree with you that unless you are saying a politician and a leader should be different, because a leader, their word is their bond. But when people make noise along saying we will impeach one, so we'll do this, I'll take them serious when they table an impeachment motion. For example, like Senator of Tana River, Senator Danson Mungatana, he has brought a motion discussing the conduct of the Deputy President, which is provided for under standing orders of the Senate and even the National Assembly. But I want to assure the public such motion does not have any consequence. It's just a censure motion to call out. It's just a motion. But if you are coming with the impeachment or a vote of no confidence, of course, the consequences will go to division, and it's a big one.
Okay.
So those are some of the issues that I don't think, and I hope the Senate Business Committee will not approve such a motion, because it's time wasting. I agree with you. Yeah, it's time wasting.
Should be taking more time on doing other things, oversighting. For example, you are not a member of the Transport Committee.
Yes.
But you've been appearing in the Transport Committee
because
hearings.
of the generating the public interest. And my people asking me whenever I walk everywhere, they're asking me, Senator, what is it that is this about Adani and everything? So as a senator, and our standing orders in Parliament allow you to be a friend of any committee, so long as you are a member of Parliament or member of the Senate. So those are some of, we have a lot. I can tell you in my committee, the ICT, we are having the Professor Kindiki today at 12 p.m. to discuss on the dismantling of ICT infrastructure and even transmissions of media houses. So I agree with you, we have a lot. Side that we don't have luxury of to relax or time.
Let's talk about one of those issues, and then we'll talk about another one.
Yes.
In Nandi, there have been all these issues in the public, mass sackings, employment, underemployment, and all. What is happening in your county?
Nandi is a sad story. Very sad.
What's happening?
And for the last seven years, when the current governor was elected, I have always been on record, and it is even in archives, both in media and my people's hearts, is that there was expectation that he would perform better. But it has been a total disappointment, especially who is a youthful person. We had a lot of expectation. When you go to Nandi, the roads are not passable. The projects are stalled. There were a number of around 600 projects. Only less than 1% of such has been completed for the last 7 years. You go to Kapiet Dairies, which is donor funded. It's yet to be completed more than 5 years. You go to Kapsabet Mother Newborn Unit, where our mother's pediatric wing are stalled. And it started at 400 million. Now it's approaching 600 million. You go to Kobuchai Dispensary, the stone throw away of Governor's House. That project has stalled. You go, that is in Aldai. You go to Kapsengere, border of Nyangori and Kisumu, not the city side, because that is Chamaze. Kapsengere Dispensary, that one has stalled. You come all the way to Maraba. Maraba Hospital, there are no drugs. Even Kapsabet County Referral Hospital. You come to Nandi Hills Hospital, is overwhelmed. And with the mass sacking of workers, the health department has almost ground to a halt. You come to Mosoriat, where I come from, we are by the road. There is no even a trauma center just in case of accidents. And one of the even Kabiet one is just they went and put some paint, and that was it. You go to Chepterwai, the project of Nyayo Ward, Chepterwai Ward, which was started by then President
Nyayo Ward.
Yeah, Nyayo Ward, which is part of Chepterwai.
It's not complete.
It's not complete. With the expansion.
Nyayo Ward.
Yes, it's not complete, which was started by the county
retired. He died.
No,
Nyayo Ward is not complete.
No, the name, it's called Chepterwai Nyayo Ward, because the name that was given during Moi era is stalled. Okay. So at the end of the day, when you look at all these issues, and billions of shillings have gone to the county. You saw the other day the report of 2023-2024. You saw counties were spending billions of shillings in foreign travel and local travel. I heard you had the governor of Nairobi yesterday.
Yeah.
They spent, I think, more than billions of shillings in foreign and local travel. My county in the last financial year, let's use the reason that had been released by COP, calavanting and perambulating. They use over 310 million, both in foreign and local. That 310 million, if you are to put bursary, it will be more than enough for the children, because they give 60 million for bursary. But they use 310 million for foreign travel, for example. You saw counties spend almost 17 billion in foreign travel. So that is why even as we fight in the Senate for more resources to the villages, people will ask us, why you munapea our magavana pesa inakuja kuibiwa?
Of course.
That is even here in Nairobi, everywhere across the country. So the question is, and in fact, I was shocked in that travel. It is very lovable. The governor traveled to China you remember there was a forum on the issue of tarmac. China, this company that does the tarmac. But I was wondering, there is no county that has a capacity to tarmac. Why would governor be going to a conference discussing tarmac, yet he cannot do Maram roads? Because, the constitution has designed the roads that go to your small home. They are called feeder roads. So those ones are county supposed to maintain. Why would a governor travel to China to discuss about expressway? It show you another one he traveled to receive an award. I don't know what kind of award. We try to Google, it doesn't exist. Another one he traveled to visit where Jesus was born in Israel. We should allow Jesus Christ to be born in our hearts if you are a Christian. So when you look at how counties spend the resources we fight for in the Senate, that is why if I walk around even by foot here, people will ask me, why are you senators giving money? But now the question is, who should do that? Us, as you know, and I'm happy this is an informative program, and I've told Kenyans even on the floor, that the power of Parliament and Senate is to recommend. As a vice chairperson of Senate Public Accounts, we have made so many reports where we have referred. Even there was in Nandi, for example, there was the issue of cement scandal, where the cement meant for ECD was lost. We did recommend in our report that the EACC investigates with the possibility of prosecution and people and recovery, even freezing of the assets through assets recovery. So those Kenyans should understand that as we just recommend, we investigate, recommend, table the report, those resolutions are shared with different entities like DCI, EACC. But the biggest, the elephant in the room at the moment in Nandi. And I'm happy. And yesterday I said in a place called Kamalambu. Kamalambu is like 20 kilometers from city's home. I wish I was aware that he's around. So I said yesterday that we need to impeach the governor. And yesterday the people, we have agreed in Nandi to call individual ward MCA to sign the impeachment proceedings that we have initiated against Governor Sang. One, for these mass sackings, when the report came over 1812, in that report, there are 3 individuals that are related with governor, the 3 siblings, and the mother and I have we did even the search. I have the KRA pin, we have the pay slip, we have the ID number, and they were given position of assistant director. And one of the brothers had taken 5 million loan. I have even the soloist. You must know the soloist. Let me just finish so that you ask. The soloist who sang his campaign song was a chief officer who never went for vetting, earning 145,000. The radio callers, you know, in my local language, the radio callers who call this popular, like Kas FM, Chamgay, Berur FM, and many others, were on payroll of cleaners. I don't know whether to clean
these
image.
Radio callers?
Radio callers are people who call every morning.
Mashabik.
Mashabik, yeah. I think that is the word, mashabik. I don't know whether you know that. There is mashabik that when you want to look nice, you get them airtime. They call your local popular station and say, you know, Senator is doing a good job. He's second to Christ. So those and you know they were hired. They were hired to do what we call cleaning services. The radio callers. So I don't know whether it was to clean the county or clean the government.
But were they doing cleaning services? Because
they were not. These are ghost workers.
does not have a job. Look.
These were ghost workers. They never appeared. Even the assistant director.
So there's no record
of them working. But there is record of them earning.
But they're on the payroll.
But they're on the payroll and they're earning. In fact, I will share you.
Have they been sacked?
They were deleted and then they have been given letters. So the problem now is that before the campaigns, the governor called all the county employees to a place called Kaimosi FTC and a place called Ndaptabwa. He gave them appointment letters, a number of them. So now when he realized the mess, he wants everybody to fall by the tree because he has noticed that there are people who are illegally in the payroll. And it's because I have talked in confidence with some of the members of County Public Service Board. You remember under Section 46 on the County Governments Act, the county executive, under Article 179 of the Constitution, led by the governor, are supposed to design the organizational structure of even the human resource structure and staff establishment of a county government. So I talked to some of the people of the County Public Service Board and say a number of these names were being referred by the governor himself so that they can be included. So when he realized that were forensic audit, because I had discussed with the TCI and EACC and Public Service Commission, when he realized they were going to do forensic audit, he went ahead and bailed the cat himself by saying, no, we want to delete their ghost workers. Yet the question people of Nandi are asking him, you have been a governor for 7 years. How did you realize there is a mess after being 7 years? Unless yourself you are a ghost worker who didn't go to job. Because if I have reporting to work, If today, my sister and yourself, if today you come to this office daily, if these microphones are not functional, you will not know. You will notice. You cannot stay 1 year in this office and say, "Oh, I didn't know that microphone was functioning or that computer was functioning." And therefore, we have resolved. And from the motion starts today, and we have told Nandi County MCAs, na tumetuma majenzi wa county ya Nandi, wawasalamie in good faith, that they should initiate the impeachment proceedings. Me in the Senate, I'm ready. The moment it lands on the desk of the Senate, we shall go the Mwangaza way.
Let us take a break. Senator Kiprotich Arap Cherargei is the senator for Nandi County. He's here. We're talking about what's happening in Nandi. So mass sackings, all these issues. I don't know whose relatives have been on the payroll for a long time. They've even taken 5 million shilling loan and all. But then what is happening going forward? Plus, the